I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching,
please don't sue me.
Yeah. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney.
I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney news and reviews.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. It is hot here in Baltimore. It's like 105 or something outrageous. It's crazy. I wish I was down in Disney World. At least it was only like the 90s there. Or in Disneyland, it's even better. It's like in the 70s. It's excellent. Good stuff. Good weather. But not here. Not here in Baltimore, unfortunately. No, but okay. Big news. Due to a work thing, I actually had to push my my Disney trip back 1 week, so I won't be going down from the 1st to the 8th of October. I'll be going down from the 8th to the 15th of October. Sorry if that messes with anybody's plans, but I got my confirmation right here, and I might do a video. This will be like the first video of File91e going down, so it'll be getting that all situated. But luckily that also pushed back my payment deadline to to right after my next paycheck, so I should have enough money to cover all that, and I'll film that and whatnot, us paying for it and everything, and but I'll do a video on that later. Yeah, so aside from that big news, I'm really ready to go down. I'm really ready to get out of Maryland and go down. So it's only about 2.5 months away. It's at the end of July, August, September, then October. 2.5 months. So I'm hoping for it. I'm ready to be done with the summer and move on to Disney World. But we'll see. One step at a time. I cleared the hurdles, or a couple of the hurdles, as pertains to going down. I got approved off, by my boss, along with my friend got approved off of his boss, so everybody's approved, from their work to go down. I also got the date pushed back, because of my boss or my work situation and everything. And then the final hurdle is just paying for it. So once we do that, that's the biggest hurdle. It'll be completely 100% confirmed that I'm going down. But it technically already is. It's like 99.9%. But paying that is still a pretty big hurdle. So it's around $4,000. So it's it's tough to do. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to really tell you. So let's get right to the news. A bit of rehab and refurbishment news. The Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show is scheduled to be closed for refurbishment from October 3rd to October 6th of this year, reopening on October 7th. Thank God. Otherwise, I would have missed it. Also regarding the LMA show, this past week saw the very first appearance of Lightning McQueen at the stunt show. The segment features Lightning McQueen and an enemy car on set, along with Mater via video link. Around 5 minutes in length, the sequence begins after the first stunt in the show and replaces the Herbie section. Now, there's video on wdwmagic.com. Check that out. It's really cool. I'll post the link right down there. Disney announced this past week the discontinuation of ESPN The Weekend. The event, hosted at Disney's Hollywood Studios, has been an annual event since 2004 and has attracted some of the biggest names in sports and big crowds eager to meet their sporting heroes. Looking forward, Disney and ESPN will still work together on different things, but nothing major is in the works right yet. So, sorry for fans of ESPN The Weekend. I had mentioned last week that no performances of Fantasmic were scheduled beyond January 4th of 2012. But WDW Magic confirmed that the show will return on February 13th with a performance at 7 p.m. So there will be a refurbishment between January 4th and February 13th. No word yet on what will be done in the 5-week refurbishment period, but it is suggested that a lot of behind-the-scenes work on the mountain is required, because that show is pretty pyrotechnic and enthused. There's a lot of mechanics involved, so I'm sure they're gonna build it up, smooth all that stuff out, and make it cool. And finally, the new permanent Kakigori kiosk building is nearing completion at Epcot's Japan Pavilion. The new building selling Japanese frozen beverages will replace the former kiosk in the same area. So keep that in mind when you're going down. So that's the news for this week. Let's get right to the reviews. Or rather, not reviews, top 10. Told you I'd be back with another top 10, top 20 thing. But anyway, I figured I'd talk about this is my opinion, my top 10 attractions at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I was going to do Animal Kingdom, but I figured let's try to start out with something cool and something, interesting, and let's do the Disney's Hollywood Studios. I might do one of these top, attractions for each park, for the month that, one for each month at the end of each month, so like this, this month of July will be top 10 at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Next month will be something else, September something else, and then finally, right before I go down, the big one, my top 10 Magic Kingdom attractions. Before I go down, I'll post that up. So I'm thinking of doing that, so we'll see. So anyway, my File91e's top 10 attractions at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Number 10 is Muppet Vision 3D. Now, for as much grief as I give this ride, it actually is really cool. The 3D effects in this are actually really good, and the humor is really good. Now, with the new Muppets movie coming out, I'm pretty sure they're going to do something to tie in with this, and it would be cool if they revamped it and redid it and actually made a different show. Because obviously 3D shows can always be enhanced and redone because it's easy. It's just a screen, but I really do like it. I really like the fact that it is the Muppets. I love the Muppets. I know I can rag on this show a lot because it's not the best in Hollywood Studios, but I still respect it. So that's why Muppet Vision 3D is number 10. Number 9 is the Hollywood Studios Backlot Tour. Now, the Backlot Tour went through a lot of renovations, and the evolution of this is pretty extreme. When I first went to the Backlot Tour, it was a huge, pretty long ride where it was lots, a lot of stuff to see, and I remember it when I was 4 years old. That's why this Backlot Tour kind of has a special place in my heart. And just to see the evolution of what it's become, it's almost like a shell of its former self now, as opposed to what it was back then. Because back then you actually saw a lot more stuff than you would normally see. Today. Now today, the Backlot Tour, they take you and they show you some props from different movies. The jet that Disney flew, and then they take you, on the that Backlot Tour, or that Backlot where the water comes down and there's a bunch of fire and everything. It was, that was pretty radical, back in the day. But nowadays it's kind of really dated. But the Studio Backlot Tour still has a special place in my heart. That's why it's number 9. Number 8 is the Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show. I really, really like this show. When I first saw it back in 2008, I figured, okay, it'd be cool, kind of, a couple stunts here and there, and that'd be it. But it's a 30-minute show, and the choreography between the cars is absolutely insane. I really, I respect the guys that do this day in and day out. It's like 7 shows a day. And they're in those hot cars that are stripped down. They don't have any air conditioning or anything like that, especially in the hot summer months. I really respect these guys for doing this day in and day out, and it's awesome. The entertainment value is really high. Like I said, they're adding in Lightning McQueen and whatnot from cars. I really think they could do a lot with that, but I've mentioned that before. But after first seeing this back in 2008, this was one of those shows that I knew I was going to have to see each and every single time I came down to Hollywood Studios. That's why the Lights, Motors, Action Extreme Stunt Show is number 8. Number 7 is the Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, a lot of people would rate this a lot higher. When I go to Disney World, I don't really go for roller coasters. I can go to roller coasters anywhere. There's a Six Flags right down by me. I can go on Superman and have fun with a roller coaster. However, I'm a kind of a different guy, or a different breed of tourist when going to Disney World. A lot of tourists, or guests, they like to, they're kind of preconditioned to getting on, how you say it? They, preconditioned to getting on, thrill rides everywhere. They're used to going to Coney Island or, Cedars Point or whatever, where there's tons of roller coasters everywhere. Disney doesn't have a lot of roller coasters. That's the thing. But you know, these later years, Disney has realized they gotta, you know, get on top of this and, you know, get some roller coasters in there so that the thrill junkies can still love Disney World while still, you know, getting the thrills that they need. So they created the Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Aerosmith, and I love this ride. But I like the story behind it, the fact that you're going with Aerosmith to the live event, and this limousine is taking you, you know, through this crazy trip through Los Angeles. And it is thrilling. It's very thrilling. You know, it's not meant for the weak at heart. So if you can't handle roller coasters at all, this is a very, very, you know, thrilling roller coaster ride. But this roller coaster is awesome, so that's why it is number 7. Now, number 6 is something I haven't been on, but when I go on it, when I go down in October, this could go up the list or down the list depending on what I think of it. But I've done a lot of research, and from all the things that I've seen, Toy Story Midway Mania is awesome. Now, this is kind of the same attraction as the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin over in the Magic Kingdom. When they introduced the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, it was pretty you know, innovative in the fact that you can control the car and shoot, and it's very interactive, very cool, and it's not just your normal ride. It's actually a game that you play. It's a free game at Disney World, so everybody loves it. So seeing the success of the Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin, they decided to, okay, let's put in, you know, let's create a pure ride just for the Toy Story, you know, people, and or the Toy Story characters, and all the fans should hopefully flock to this. So they created Toy Story Midway Mania. What Toy Story Midway Mania is you get into this thing, and it is a game, and you travel to different games, and you actually play them with the attached gun accessory attachment, whatever is there. But the cool thing about this is that it's pure 3D. So you put on the 3D glasses, and you can do different things, like, you know, it's like a ring toss, this, that, and the other. I am so looking forward to this. It's unreal. So this will probably wind up being the first thing that I see at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Just because I really want to experience this attraction and give it a good review. I'm pretty sure I want to give it a 5 out of 5, just based on everybody else's reviews. But you know, we'll see. You know, I could give it a 4 or a 3. You never know. So you know, stay tuned for that. But either way, right now, middle of the pack, Toy Story Midway Mania, number 6. Okay, number 5 is Star Tours. Again, I haven't been on the new one, but I'm basing my stuff off of the old one, my love for the old one, and the fact that they can't mess up Star Tours. It's the same thing. It's in 3D now. The mechanics are longer, and the flights are different. So, I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Star Tours has always been one of my favorites, just because I love the Star Wars, movies, and going down the Death Star trench is crazy cool. And ever since I saw that when I was a kid, this was always one of my favorite attractions at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Like I said, I love Star Wars, and just waiting in line, and you're going under the AT-AT, you see C-3PO and R2-D2 and whatnot, and you get in the thing, and you're just moving around. It was one of the first simulator rides ever, and it was pure amazement, the fact that you're flying in an X-Wing, or flying next to the X-Wings, and in the Death Star trench. It just, to me, as a Star Wars fan when I was a kid, it was, you couldn't top it. So that's why Star Tours is number 5 in my top 5 Hollywood Studios rides of all time. Number 4, and this is going to anger some people, is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. It's going to anger some people because why isn't this higher? This is probably the best ride in Disney World for some people. Not me. I love the ride. I love the fact that you kind of walk through the story. This honestly is the most in-depth ride when it comes to just everything about it. When you're waiting in the line, that starts the story process. You go in, you hear the music, it's kind of creepy, and you're like, oh, this is interesting. And then you finally get into the hotel, and everything is all dusty and nasty. There's spider webs everywhere. It hasn't been kept up at all. And you finally get to the boiler room part, and it's just a little creepy. Sparks are flying in different places. Then you get into the to the car itself. The guy slams the door shut. You're like, oh my God, what's going on? You go up, and then you actually go in to the Twilight Zone. This is the first ride that Disney created where you would actually go up and then forward into the different chute, into the drop chute, and then you would go down. And Disney has evolved the ride mechanics over the years so that you can actually get a different ride each time you get on. Originally, when this started out, it was just a drop. You just dropped once and that was it. But they decided to upgrade it, and I think they did that for the better. That's one of the top rides in all of Disney's Hollywood Studios. But for me, it's only number 4 because as much as I love the Twilight Zone and I love the ride and everything, there are still some these top 3 have made kind of a impact on me, in here. It's still this ride is still a great ride and all, but the top 3 are kind of sentimental favorites. So they won't be in everybody's top 5, but for me, these next top 3 edged out Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. So that's why Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is number 4. Number 3 is Fantasmic. I finally saw Fantasmic the last time I went down, and at the behest of everybody. Everybody said, Nick, you missed Fantasmic the other times you went down. You have to see it. So I was like, okay, I'll wait the hour just to get a good spot and everything. And I remember it was cold. It was cool for that night. Well, I wouldn't say cold, but there was a breeze, so it was a little chilly. My mom was there, my brother was there, and we were just kind of just huddled around this one place, and we were just chilling. We started to wave, throughout the audience. That was cool. We met some really cool people who were sitting in front of us. I think they were from England or something like that. We were having good, conversations there. And while I was waiting so long, I was wondering, is this show really worth it? After watching Fantasmic, that show is awesome. That is probably it's either number 2 or number 3 on my top firework or parade performances in all of Disney World. Number 1 is Illuminations. I don't think anything can top that, but Fantasmic comes close. The music in this is outstanding. It takes you through all of the emotions. You feel brave in some instances. You feel scared. You feel happy, sad. There's different you see almost every character that Disney has to offer, and just the stunts, the effects in it are awesome. The fireworks are great, and it's really, really hard to top. And the only reason why Illuminations is ahead of this is because again, it's more of a sentimental favorite than anything else, and I like the music just a little bit more than Fantasmic. But Fantasmic is a great show. I'll never forget watching it, and all of us, my brother, me, and my mom just absolutely loved it. We went home that day, and we were telling our grandparents about it, and they were like, "Wow, we can't believe we missed it." But it's probably the best show at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So that's why Fantasmic is number 3. And you're like, Fantasmic, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror? There can't be any other rides that are better than that. But to me, there are. The second, number 2, my almost favorite ride in Disney's Hollywood Studios is the Great Movie Ride. Great Movie Ride? Isn't that the one where you just sit down and you go through all the movies? Yeah, well, as you can tell by my giant DVD collection behind me, I am a huge movie fan. And the fact that you can go through and see all these different pieces of memorabilia. You go into this big screening room where you see different clips from different movies. Then you hop in the car and you go and you see different animatronic scenes. That's just too awesome. They combined movies with the dark ride and then just made it this. This was awesome to me. If you don't know what a dark ride is, think of Spaceship Earth or Pirates of the Caribbean. It's slow. You're going through the story. And there really isn't any thrills or whatnot. You just look around and you see a whole bunch of different things. I love those dark rides. That's the whole reason why I go to Disney World, because I don't get any good dark rides anywhere else. So yeah, that's what a dark ride is. But you go through all these different scenes. They have Indiana Jones, Casablanca, the Public Enemy, just the Alien. That was it's so awesome to me. I don't know how exactly to put it into words why this ride is one of my all-time favorites. It just is. It always will be. This is one of the rides that I have to hit each and every single solitary time I go down to Disney World. But then again, this is, these are my top 10. It's not, like, everybody else's top 10. This is my top 10. So that's why the Great Movie Ride is number 2. Now, my top attraction or ride at Disney's Hollywood Studios is Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. Ever since I was a kid, when I first saw this, I freaked out. I've been an Indiana Jones fan ever since I was about 3 or 4. Watching these movies with my grandfather, just watching the Indiana Jones defeat the Nazis, the big ball, the airplane, just everything about Indiana Jones was big for me. So and oh my God, there's an Indiana Jones show. I get to see Indiana Jones perform stunts. Oh, we're there, right? So of course, every single time I go down, I have to hit this. No matter what, pretty much my whole schedule is based around when we're going to see this show. I'd rather see this show over Fantasmic any day of the week because it's such a sentimental favorite to me. I love Indiana Jones. The stunts in this are great, even though they're dated and everything looks old and you're like, they could update it, they could do something else. Everybody else wants to see this changed except for me. But that's just because I'm stingy like that, and that's just how I roll. I love Indiana Jones. I love this ride. I love the stunts in it. It can't be bad to me. I freak out each and every single time I see it. So to me, just hearing the Raiders march and get to see Indiana Jones crack the whip, that's it for me. I've had a good day at Hollywood Studios just seeing those two things. So there it is, my top ride at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I kind of rambled on there a little bit. I'd love to hear your opinions on the top 10. I would love to hear your top 10 Hollywood Studios of rides and attractions. I'm really looking forward to hearing what what people say about this. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail about it, about Twilight Zone being number 4. Oh man, people, I know Fantasmic's not the greatest thing ever. No, not to me. But it is. Hey, at least they're in top 5, right? Yeah. So yeah, if anyone from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I just want to go down to Disney World and want to get other people to go down to Disney World. So that's why I made this show, to try to convey my passion for Disney World to other people so that they can have a great time going down. And I'm trying to show people Disney World is awesome. If you're ever hesitant about going, watch this stuff. Hopefully I can kind of get you to go down. Go to allears.net, touringplans.com, wdwmagic.com for all your latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too, straight from the horse's mouth. Check out the videos coming about me actually going. I'm going to try to give you some tips and show my process of how I'm going to Disney World. So hopefully that should help some other people out there. I'm glad you guys watched it. I hope you guys don't hate me too much for my top 10. But I'll be back next week for another Disney news and reviews. Bye, guys.